Now, I'm not going to lie, this is live on YouTube, which I'm not really worried about it, but we can at least share it. So, boom! I need to plug in my computer.
Yeah, what is it on your YouTube channel?
Yes. So, how do I make the video sounds? Okay, here's the link for them to join. Yes. Boom. All right. We got this figured out. Ha! All things. So you should be able to share that link and they should be able to join the YouTube live. Theoretically.
Will they be able to watch it live?
Yeah, it's live right now on YouTube.
Okay. Can they comment?
Yes. Well, they should be able to.
The comments or?
Pinned chat. Got it. Yep, there's a chat and everything. You might even be able to see the chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Hello, everybody in Destination Success. Sorry, I had technical.
Trying to find the live.
I sent you the link on Messenger.
I know, I clicked it and it brought me to your channel.
When you click that link, it takes you to my channel, not the live.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, no, I see it. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I see it and I'll be able to. I wonder if I can share it back into.
You should be able to copy and paste that same link and put it in your team page.
But I can share it in a group currently?
Yeah.
I can, like, there we go. I'm going to share it in the group, like, from YouTube.
Perfect.
So we'll see what that does.
It's just going to be delayed, but they can still watch the replay on it too.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. And I'll see if I can see it in here. I don't know if it's like live in. Yeah.
Says we got 2 viewers. Say hey if you're joining on YouTube, where are you watching from? Or if you're watching in Facebook, drop in the comments where you're joining us. So we can say hi to you. I can say hi back. Say hello.
Well, hopefully some people get on, and if not, we will share this. And I appreciate you figuring this out because I don't know what the heck. Like, I don't even know where you see the live option in Facebook because I have nothing. It's insane.
I just had a little red thingamabobber.
No, like my thing does not say live at all. I'm telling you, on my computer or on my phone, it's insane. And I looked at other groups too. So craziness, but okay, whatever.
What you just tagged us in didn't have a link. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
So
hi.
got a couple people watching, and if you guys want to comment over on the wherever you comment, I don't know, on my computer it's on the right hand side, but I'm sure you guys are on phones. So thank you so much, Nicollette. I appreciate it. And I'm going to pull up.
I'm going to record this too, so that way you can also share it too. YouTube is crazy.
You are perfect.
All the things. I had my questions pulled up too now. I'm like, okay.
Is this enter? There you go.
Woohoo!
My questions. So really quick, most of the girls on my team probably know who you are, at least people that have been in for a while and people that have been in pre-COVID because they've seen you train before, they've met you at national events. But can you quickly like introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about like, how long you've been in business, where you're from, and stuff like that, real quick.
Perfect. So I'm Nicollette Anders. I started the business in October, October 5 years ago. So I've been in business for about 5 years now. I am originally from Pennsylvania. And I actually relocated my business to Missouri, almost 3.5 years ago now, which is absolutely insanity to even say. I think that's it, right? How long I've been in business? Yeah.
And is this your full-time job?
Oh, this is all I do now. And I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you guys. Full-time was not even in the radar. That was not something that I was looking to do. This would have been my side gig probably for the rest of my life. I ended up going full-time when I moved across the country because I was this is going to sound weird, but I was afraid of like getting a job that somebody would tell me that I couldn't take off. I worked in the restaurant industry prior to being Pure Romance full time, and we did not get off. Like, you worked when you worked. It didn't matter if you, like, I literally had a funeral once, and my boss told me that sucked. We have a bit bigger event happening. So when I moved across the country, I literally feared not being able to go home whenever I needed to go home because my family is near and dear to my heart.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So you weren't full-time when you were back in Pennsylvania.
Nope. And I literally, the only reason I quit is because they had a bunch of broken promises. I was supposed to be a manager. They overlooked me twice, gave me a bunch of excuses. And I finally was like, screw it. I'm going to move across the country for some guy that I barely know and start all over. And here we are.
Nice. Awesome. Let's give some of your stats of like what you're doing with the business. Like, what are you selling? What does your team look like? I know you won the yacht trip, right?
Yes, I was on the yacht. I was on the yacht, and then I just got the Cancun trip too.
Oh yeah.
So since I've been in the business, so when I think of the business for me, I think of full years. So like when I started in October, like October, November, December, like that was just like, okay. So every full year that I've ever been in business, I have sold over $100,000. So that was when I was a full-time chef working 60, 70 hours a week. And then since I have gone full-time, I have doubled my sales. I've doubled my time to put the effort into the business. So therefore I've doubled my sales. A lot of people say to me like, well, how have you done that? I am a people person. I am a connections person. So what does that mean? It means like, I like when people, like, if you invite me to something, I need you to personally message me to like create that connection with me. So I'm going to put that effort back into you. So I put that same mentality into my business. So with my hostesses, I'm messaging them, I'm connecting with them. That is why in-home parties are my guru. That is my money. That is my connections. That's my fun. As much as they need the ladies' nights to giggle and laugh, I provide that as my ladies' nights to giggle and laugh as well. I've always had fun in this business. If it's ever stressed me out, I literally was like, okay, if I'm stressed, I'm doing too much. I'm not simplifying it enough for myself. It should never stress you to have fun.
Ooh, okay.
So that's my retail stats, I guess you can say. Activation wise, I was a rookie of the year earner. So I'd activated 24 ladies in my first year. Since now I do anywhere from, so last year I did 58. The year before I did like 52. That was a big goal of mine to hit the 50 mark. So I've only hit the 50 mark the last 2 years. I truly just believe in women first before they believe in themselves. It's not my call. It's not my decision to say, are they going to be successful or not? So if I provide the opportunity and I give them all the resources that Pure Romance has given me, then hey, here we are.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm learning stuff about you I did not know. First of all, I did not know you were a chef.
Oh yeah, I'm 5-star French trained, like bachelor's degree, the whole, like I can probably outcook most people.
Oh my God, and you're gonna cook for me. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, so what was it that's like, why did you get into doing this? You know, obviously you were a chef, that's a great job. Like it's fun. It's obviously something that you were passionate about. You weren't somebody who was grinding away at a 9 to 5 that you hated, like at a front desk somewhere. What made you join this having had a career?
So I actually said no to the business for 5 years. I had parties. I was the hostess that had the parties. I spent lots of money. And eventually when I got out of college, I was in a weird spot. I had earned all the things I needed to, like, I was at one of the highest levels in my positions in my career. I had one spot higher and then owning my own business. Financially, the money wasn't there. I was living paycheck to paycheck and my student loans didn't even start coming out yet. I got in a car accident. I couldn't afford that. I was, my computer's gonna die. Let me plug her in. One second.
You're fine. And guys, comment if you're watching this on the YouTube, go ahead and you guys can comment questions over on the side or wherever it says, or you can private message them to me in Facebook Messenger, and I'll make sure that I get Nicollette to answer them. Okay, so keep going.
So I started because I was in a weird head place. I was going through like some depression, not in a very good mental state. I did not perform self-love, I guess you could say. I was working crazy hours and then financially. So I literally did the worst case scenario. I could get a big box at a really good price. Worst case scenario, I already like the stuff and I keep it. Or best case scenario, I make money. So I gave myself, literally, you guys are going to laugh at me. I threw it on a credit card. I don't, do what works for you guys in life, but I threw it on a credit card and I did my launch party and my encore party. And I said to myself, if I do not pay off my credit card and pay off this business kit, then I got to walk away. I doubled my money, paid for my car payment, everything. Like, it was just roll tide roll. So why I worked full time, I just did 1 to 3 parties a month because that's what I had time for. I didn't want to work on my days off. I worked long days. I would work from 7 to 4 and do a party 6 to 9 and go home, do what I got to do, get up and roll. But the hustle then is the reward now.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I say that all the time. I mean, I worked 4 to 5 jobs to pay my bills coming out of graduate school. And I went and worked at the school, and then I would go and do private therapy. And then I would I would teach college. And on the weekends, I was doing, 2, 3, 4, 5 parties in a weekend. Like I would do Friday, double Saturday, double Sunday. And it was because I saw the end goal. And you had this goal of like, I want to pay off this student loan debt. Like you said, your student loans were coming in. What was your highest moment in the business? Like your height of your height, like, oh my God, this is like, I'm on cloud 9, best thing ever.
So it's funny, when I was looking at these questions, I really, really thought about this, and you're going to laugh because I feel like as your business changes, those high moments change. So my very first high moment in my business was when I got my first override check. My goal, again, most ridiculous thing ever. My goal was to get me and my mom front row tickets to go see Florida Georgia Line. At that concert that I went to, the freaking, who was it? God, I forget his name. He kicked a beer and it landed on me. Like literally, I forget. It was one of the opening act. So like that was my goal my first year in business, is to provide that memory with my mom and spend that time together. That was like $600 in tickets, like literally. So that was my high moment then. But then like as my life changed, like my next, so last year my big goal was to pay off my car. paid off my car. Then I was a goal to buy a house. We just bought a house. Like, I feel like as your business grows and once you realize the value in the hustle and what it can provide, you're like, if I hustle harder, I can make the bigger things happen. I had never traveled outside of Pennsylvania. So the first time leaving the country, being able to afford, like, at the drop of a dime, to be able to afford a flight home without even thinking twice about it is just, you don't realize how much you can until you can't or couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's the opportunity. So like, I feel like this has all been said to us before, which, I mean, there's truth in it, but when people say like money doesn't buy happiness, nobody's saying that money buys happiness. But I always say money gives you options. Options, because if something happened or you were like, you know what, I emotionally need my family right now, like, you can book a flight and you don't have to think twice about it. For us, like, it gave us options. Like, for me, it gave me options that when COVID hit, like, I didn't have to worry about a job and sending my kid, not being able to like continue a job and sending my kids. Like, this gives you so many options, and that's definitely the truth. And I like that you said that, like, your highs always change because it's a high after high, and it's different, and your business changes with your life. And what was exciting to me back when I was 22 and started this, or even like when Pure Romance bought us in I don't even know how old I was, 29. I was 29. Like, I was pre-marriage and pre-kids. It was totally different. It was like travel and this and that. And now, like, paying the tuition for my daughter's school, being able to make these decisions to be at home with them. What was the lowest of your low, the shit of the shit? And the reason I like to point this out, it's like not about being negative. It's like we all get to this low point in our business sometimes where we're like, I want to give up. It's a roller coaster, an entrepreneur roller coaster. And you have these highs and you have these lows and you're like, dude, I want to quit. But like, how did you dig yourself out of that? What was that low?
So I feel like, so this is kind of tough because one of the lowest points in my business was when I moved across the country and I knew nobody. And people literally look at me like, you knew nobody? Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, literally, I knew nobody when I moved to Missouri. I did not move on to, like, per se, an army base where there was people that already enjoyed, where we're going to be a community of army wives. Like, I didn't have any of that. But I remember sitting in that moment and saying to myself, I just moved across the country. Okay. I've known the guy that I just moved in with for not even 8 months. Okay. I left my family, just left my two successful businesses, and here I am. So I remember sitting on the floor crying, and I remember saying to myself, you have two options. Go get a job, answer to somebody, never go home to see your family, or put your big girl panties on and figure your shit out. And that's what I did. Is I made connections, I sent messages, I talked to random people, I did vendor events. Some vendor events I made one connection, but that one connection I made, she led me to 10 more people, and at that party I met 10 more people. So sometimes your low moments make you realize your highest moments. But even in the business, like, you're going to have day-to-day low moments. 2 days ago, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do anything. And then today I like hustled through things that I didn't even think possible. But in the end, I've learned, if it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. So figure out ways to simplify it.
Oh, that's awesome. And we'll have to go back to that. I love that you're talking about your moving, because I feel like this can apply to even people that are brand new and you're like, I don't even know where to start. Like, and it shows that somebody that you literally know nobody. It wasn't even that you were just new. You knew nobody. And you stepped outside of your box. I think we all have to step out of our comfort zone. Like they say, you do not grow from a place of comfort. And that's fine. Like, you can stay in your place of comfort, your zone of comfort, but you're never going to grow as a person. You're never going to grow your business. You're never going to grow. And it's an okay place to be. But if you want what's on the other side, you need to be willing to step outside and do things that are uncomfortable. I am an introvert. I don't like I don't. I am an introvert. I am to myself. Like I have social anxiety and I absolutely stepped outside of my box in my demo. Like I'm like I'm going to create Party Lauren. This is like my alter ego. And that's 100% what I did and how I grew my business. You know, and anytime I've done something hard, I don't know if you feel like this in your life. Anytime that I've done something hard, it's been okay and we grew from it. We're in the process of possibly relocating for my husband's job, and moving, not super far, but like an hour away and all new people. And I'm like, you know what? This is like scary and hard, but I up and like I started my business and I moved to New York after I started my business and lived in a whole new state and had to make new friends and do new things like, and I was okay. Like everything was fine. The hard I quit my job, my secure job to do this full time and things were good. It was the best decision I made. You know, so I feel like people are so scared to do difficult things for sure.
People are afraid to make the connection. Like instead of just sending the cold message, because people do it all the time. Instead of sending the cold message, make a true connection. Don't send the cold message. Make a true connection. And that's going to be the difference. And I'm not going to tell you I'm the girl that picks up the phone and makes phone calls to people. That is not who I am. But I am the girl that will voice message somebody compared to sending them 2 miles of blah, 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 blah. Hey, I just know you're fun and it was nice meeting you at a fun event. Do you mind coming to my house and having some fun with me? Literally.
Is that
Have
what you
fun.
did? Did you do parties at your house when you first
So,
moved?
so when we moved, I used to allow hostesses to use my house to let I still let them. I don't care. If they're like, I don't have a place to have a party, I'm like, cool. I don't have to travel to go to a party. You travel to me. I'll do like, I don't mind. How can I say kick everybody out of your house if I'm not willing to kick people out of my house?
Yes, 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 yes.
Because that's
Now,
how you want to be treated.
now, obviously, you have your a boyfriend, and like it's a caveat. You like you don't have kids, so people would be like, "Well, I have children." However, I know a girl on our team who does the same exact thing because it's easier for her. This is like it's kind of like change your perspective. What is it? Change the way you look at things and look at things you look at change. So people would be like, "Well, I can't kick my kids out." Can you kick your kids out on a Sunday morning? Probably, you know, and that's exactly what she does. Like for her, it's she's not paying a babysitter. You know, she's her kid goes next door to the neighbors and hangs out there for an hour and a half and comes back. She doesn't have to carry her stuff everywhere. She doesn't have to drive. She doesn't like, you know, and the hostess, yeah, just brings stuff. So you can make it work if you want to make it work.
And it's just too, like, I always paint a picture for people, like, go to the movies for an hour. Like, we can do a happy hour. Keep it fun. Keep it easy. Keep it simple. A complicated party is going to be complicated. Nobody wants to do complicated.
Yeah, yeah. We're in control and can tailor it. Um, let's see. Let's before I go on to these other two questions, I want you to talk about simplifying stuff because I think that's really important for things. I think especially now, this is where and people can say, especially the people that have been in business for a long time, that we're like, there's so many options. I should do this and I should do that and I should do that and I should do that and I can do this and I can do this and I can be online and I can do in person and I can do person like and then they like it's paralysis and then we don't do anything. So what are you doing to simplify and to make yourself love what you're doing?
I'm being me. My VIP group is a community of women. It's not just a Facebook group. I will never consider it to be. Yes, we are in a Facebook group, but it is a community of women that I create that safe space for. They see me on a personal level. I'm not in and out. I'm not there when I just want sales. I'm there on a daily basis. I'm there when the sun is shining and it's snow and gloomy. I'm there on the good days and I'm there on the bad days. So one, I'm me. Okay. And I think when you're just true and genuine to who you are, it's simple. You're not trying to fake it. I party, okay? I have goals. I go into so like my goal was every month, my goal is to have 10 to 15 parties. So now that we're in March, I'm working in April. I'm never bogging myself down in the month that I'm in. I have a plan going February. I had a plan going into March. March, I have a plan going into April. So I'm never pedaling backwards or just jumping in a puddle, wondering what I'm going to do next. My parties, I have a binder, and this is like twice a week. I open the binder, I do what I got to do, and I flip through it. And it's that simple. As far as making connections and doing the follow-up, the same system I use now is the same system I used 5 years ago. And it worked for my leader. And I changed the verbiage so it sounds like me, but it's the same exact thing. It worked 5 years ago. It's the same Word document, copy and paste, and be personable when they respond. Being a person. It's just being honest and being true to who you are, and be a customer service provider like you want to be. I literally went to Express today, and not one person said anything to me until I had a pile full of clothing in my hands. They're like, oh, she's about to spend money. No, you should treat every single person as if they're going to spend a shit ton of money with you, whether they're buying one bottle of Gucci or a main attraction.
Yeah.
There's still value in that.
Yes. First of all, I'm going to comment on that. Remind me, because my mom brain, about my last party I just had. But something you said about having a notebook. It's like finding what works for you guys. Like I used to do the notebook, and I would have a sheet for every party, and I would take notes and check off. Did I send them this? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I send them their thank you? I would take any kind of notes in there, and I would just go through that book. And that's what worked for me at that time. Now, what's changed digitally is I have my calendar. And I put my parties on my calendar. My assistant actually sets it up, so she has access to my calendar, but I have the checklist. Did we set this up? Did we set that up? Did we set that up? I have the links to everything, and my entire business, my hostess coaching, is all on my phone. All my scripts in a note. Like I can sit like at my kids' dance class and be like, do, and send my messages out right then and there, which is great. But like you said, treat every single customer. So I did a party this weekend. It booked off of a party I did back, I want to say December. And I thought it was going to be a great party. It was a decent amount of girls. And the previous party, like they spent a lot of money. And it was still an awesome party. Like it's not like it was a bad party, but it was that Coochie Body Do party. Everybody was a 1 or 2 product, right? I think the entire party yielded with the hostess, like $300 or $400, which might, for me, it's, I'm not downing that, but for me, that's not a ton. And then I booked a party off of it. And this party, everybody was $200, $300, $400, $500 orders. And I booked 2 more parties off of it. One's a double party. One of them is like relatively soon, in like 2 weeks. So like, you don't know, you really don't. What are your top 3 business tips? And you can say virtual, in-person type of stuff. Like, what are your top 3 business tips?
First one is ask everybody. So one of my famous, I guess my team calls it famous line, is so when somebody says, hey, yes, I need a refill, I need a bottle of Gucci, I go, cool, do you want to pay for it? Do you want it free? And they're like, well, talk to me. And literally I had a girl 2 weeks ago transition a bottle of lube and to a $900 party. And now I just booked 2 more parties off of that, all because I gave her the option. If you don't ask, you're not going to know. So tip number 1.
Do you want to pay for it or for free?
Would you like to pay for it, or would you like it free?
Oh my God. I like that. I need to write that down. So that's when somebody goes to order from you, you ask them, would you like that, or would you like it for free?
Yeah. So like I just had a girl message me today. Yes, I need a bottle of Gucci. And I'm like, cool. Would you like that? Would you like to pay for it, or would you like it free? And then she's like, well, how do I get it free? I go, grab a bottle of wine and 5 shopping friends. Done.
And is that for an in-person or virtual? Like,
yeah, I guess you can. I don't really offer virtual.
Okay.
Once in a blue moon, I'll get a virtual. I used to do a lot of virtual. But now but yeah, that's going to be the same thing. It's whatever works for your business. Same idea though.
I think it would be like, I always say it's like stepping your way down. It's kind of like when you ask somebody about a party. Okay, do you have a referral? Okay, would you like to place an order? Like they don't say no 3 times. So it's like, do you want to pay for it or do you want it for free? What do you do it for free? You would host a party, right? Oh, okay. Like, yes, I'll host a party. Or if they say no, okay, well, you can do a virtual party. Okay. Well, if not, you can still place the order, So like, it's like
And the big thing with that verbiage too, and I learned this from, gosh, I don't know, there was a book about some guy that I met for, would you mind or would you like? The questions of would you is a huge thing, because like instead of say can you or something about would you, that's it. And then I always say like grab a bottle of wine, 5 shopping friends, and I always call my parties ladies' nights. I don't call them parties, and that's always been really successful for me too.
I like this, ladies. Oh, I say ladies' nights also, and grab a bottle of wine and 5 friends.
5 shopping friends. And I'm also booking, so like a party like this is going to be a Wednesday, this is going to be a Thursday. If somebody says to me, I want a Saturday, I'm going to say, no problem. I just asked for a minimum of 9 ladies. Does that work for you? And if weekends is your only availability, go for it. Go for the 5 people, okay? But weekends are not my only availability. And right now, my biggest parties are during the week because people are busy on the weekend. They're going away. Like I had a girl literally was like, I want a weekend. I'm like, cool, send me, we couldn't even connect 2 days. I said, send me some days that you have available. I'll see what I can make work. She ended up messaging me back, you're right, let's do a Wednesday. And because she was just so damn busy.
Nice. Oh my God, I love it. That's like an aha moment for me. See, I'm learning shit. And it's so simple. It's not like I haven't heard this stuff, but I'm like, ding, like it just, and that would it be okay if, or my team, it's would it be okay with, if that's what we say all the time. It's Big Al Schreider. That's who it is.
That's it. That's his name. I'm like, I don't even know. Oh, so that was tip number 1. Tip number 2, keep it simple, okay? Know what you need from your business. If your goal is to profit $500, what do you need to make that happen? If you're like, well, I don't want to do parties, but I need $500. Okay, what do you need to do to make that happen? And that's what's really cool about having Lauren and having a leader and having all these channels that we have. Literally just make a connection with somebody and be like, this is my goal. You've been doing this way longer than I have. What does this picture paint for me? So that would be my second one, is know what you need. And 3, show up. You cannot expect to learn if you don't plug yourself in. Plug yourself into your team meetings, plug yourself into the opportunities that we have. Plug yourself into the corporate stuff. I hear from ladies all the time, oh, well, I work, I this, I that. Girl, I was in your shoes once in my life, but those recordings on my drive home from works, that's what I'm listening to. Instead of listening to the radio, I listen to Pure Romance. Even on my way to parties for my first year in business, I literally listened to Dana Barish's demo on my way to parties. To the party, from the party. Why? Because the more that you just naturally understand the product and the more that you naturally use the products, you're not selling shit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Preach, girl. I love it. It's like, and here's the thing, like we make excuses. Well, but I mean, I had a girl once, she was like, well, I really like to listen to the radio. And I'm like, the radio doesn't make you money. Like that's what I would do how I built my business. Like I would put on, this was back when Slumber, and it was like an audio recording. Like it was like when we had like shit tech, like there was no tech back then. And I would listen to it while I cleaned. I listened to it while I did dishes, while I, like driving, all of those. And I would practice my demo. This is when I had a CD in my car with Dana Barish's demo. I was like, we got rid of this shit. Like I cleaned it out in my purge recently. What is your Pure Romance superpower?
Being positive. There's always a positive in every situation. I had my first 0 party about 3 weeks ago, maybe longer than that. I had my first Euro party, and I was, two things could have happened in this moment. I got upset. I could have cried about it. I could have, whatever. Like, I literally drove an hour and 15 minutes in shitty weather to go to a party that nobody showed up to. And the hostess literally said, I don't have any money. So I got back in my car and drove back home. And so I didn't do that, though. I watched the replay of Live Alive on the way back home. But two, I made such a good connection with her that when she is in a financial situation where she can join the business, guess who's going to join the business? Because she sees the value in it. And I could have written her off, and I didn't.
Yeah. You know what? And I always think of it this way, because like in my career, it's happened once, twice. I mean, I've had parties where it didn't qualify, where it was like $54 in sales type of deal. And I look at it this way: put yourself in that hostess's shoes. You would be embarrassed. You would feel horrible. And I never want to, I'm like, girl, listen. And I'm like, we tried, like, I'm trying to think what I said to her. I'm like, unfortunately, we didn't qualify for this, but I want to hook you up. I'm going to give you this discount. Let's do this. Like, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, girl, you can't help it. And I appreciate you having me in your home. Da, da, da. Because again, like you said, two choices. You could act like a huge bitch, and they'll never come back to you. They'll never refer you. They'll never shop with you. Or you can make them feel good. Like, what? It doesn't cost you anything to make somebody feel really good.
Exactly.
Turn lemons into lemonade, man. I actually thought so, and this is something else. I have a party next weekend, and she was like, nobody's going to show up. Can we make it virtual? So I'm going to do a virtual event for her. I'll probably do something like pre-recorded or move it to like a weekday or something. But I'm like, when my parties cancel or I don't have parties, if I want to do 2 parties a week or 3 parties a week or whatever, I'm going to leave my house and go sit in Starbucks and work my business for those 3 hours that it would have taken me to do that party, right? Because you need to, like I'm setting, if I don't have the parties, I need to put that working time in to it.
It's funny that you say that, because I had a bunch of parties cancel in February, and I sat and I worked, and I literally went upstairs after working, and I said to Chris, and I was like, hey, I don't realize how lucky I have it. Like, my party canceled, and I just went downstairs and sent some genuine messages to people, and I was able to do like $1,000 in sales that night. Mm-hmm. And I said to Chris, I was like, I don't realize how lucky I am to have the ability to do that. But not only that, like, my follow-up messages and just connecting with people, making those genuine connections could have been actually higher sales than that party.
Yeah.
So, like, we should never, one, even if you have the parties hold, always do the follow-up. But two, when the parties don't hold, don't count out the paycheck.
Yeah. Don't not work. Don't take it as a day off. I also like that you set a goal too, because like, well, obviously we should all have goals, but why do you need this? Like, if this is like, I'm paying my rent, or I want to bring in this dollar amount to put towards X, Y, and Z, what do I need to do to get there? What does that look like? What does that look like after shipping, any other business cost, paying your taxes? I mean, you got to put shit.
All tax season.
Oh,
if you're not booking parties during tax season, you're crazy. And everybody wants to spend their money. Give them a reason to spend it. They're either going to give it to Target or they're going to give it to you. Make the decision.
Yep. And then the last thing, let's see, what's your superpower? What is your best tip for a new partner?
Ask the question. Don't assume. Ask the question, and don't assume that don't assume that we know where you are in your training or anything like that. Don't assume that we're like not willing to help you if you don't come to us. Like, our doors are always open. Our doors are always available. But we're not going to run after you. We're not going to chase after you. We're not going to knock on your door. We're not going to say, hey, are you ready? Are you ready? Did you do that? Did you do that? Because in the end, this is your business and this is your tempo. And we don't want to pressure you or move you too fast if you don't feel comfortable. But we will gladly ride on that horse and gallop with you when you're ready. So always ask the question. Always make the connection. And always be a product of your business. Okay. It is cheaper to buy body wash from yourself than it is the CVS shelf. Okay. One, the ingredients, two, the price. We are buying 50 to 60% off on a good damn day. Like, there is no reason that you should not be washing your butt with your own body wash. Straight up. And your kids and your house and your partners and your husband, everybody should be using what you believe in. And if you truly believe in this, the business will grow immensely because you don't sell anything. You don't push anything off on people because you're truly believe in what you have to offer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that you say ask the questions, because I have girls that are like further down in my downline, and they just have sponsors that like one of them, like our sponsors in the process of some big life changes, and like she made a connection with me in the beginning, and she always reaches out to me, and I always like, listen, I got 2 kids and a crazy schedule, it might take me a couple hours, but I get back to her and I'm like, here's this, here's that, do this, do, like, she's shadowed me, she's helped me, she's learning, like, just ask for the help. Like, you just reach out. People aren't, nobody's going to say like, screw you, I don't want to help you. We want to help. It's just like, you're right. I'm not chasing you down because I don't want to bother you. If you really just are like, hey, I'm in it for the discount, like, I ain't coming and knocking on the door and telling you go do 12 parties, because that's not what I want you to do. I want you to do what makes you happy. But if what makes you happy is that making money and you want to learn how to make some money, like, here are all the things. Here are my
And when you're asking for help too, like if somebody says, okay, go send these messages and follow back up with me, don't say that you sent the messages and then be like, nobody responded. Like, that's not helping me and that's not helping you. And like we can't do the business for you. It's just not possible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you so much. Is there anything else?
Absolutely.
I don't think I got any questions that I can say. I don't know where they would pop up. I don't see anything in the...
I don't see anything in the chat either. So,
Yeah.
But if anybody does or anything, you could always send them to me, and then I could always just go live in your team group real quick and answer them tomorrow or something. So
Nobody sent me anything either. And I'm going to send a link to this. I send a text message out with a link directly to this so people can go and watch the replay. So, well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And I appreciate you helping me with all the tech.
technology fun. Perfect. Cool.